All right, everyone. Welcome back to Basscast Radio. I am your host, Brian Carter. Uh, guys, Bass Geek is back in the house with us this week. So I want to thank and hope Bass Geek is doing extremely better because last week, guys, the Geek got it hard, man. I mean, Geek got the cold big time. I had it after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. And Geek, I had one day. We took a road trip. I don't know if you listen to the show. Me and Danielle have always tried to take a road trip during Christmas or New Year's, and we took our yearly road trip. And we woke up, ate breakfast, went right back to bed, and I never do that. So, yeah, it was pretty daggone rough. But glad you're back with us.
Seems like it always, it was a head cold, but I've been blessed enough with some really crappy lungs. So every time I get something, all the drainage just goes straight to the old lungs and tries to give me pneumonia and kill me. So hence why my doctor's already given me the pneumonia shot. And it's like you're not even supposed to get that until you're like what, 65. So it's just what it is, man. My lungs have always been that way.
Speaking of shots,
it's genetic. So
I need the 50-year-old shot. I haven't even had that yet. What is that, shingles?
Yeah, shingles, something like that.
You have to take 2 of them, and I've been told that the first one's not bad. The second one, you're going to need a couple days.
I already had shingles, so.
All right, enough about that. So we got in the house tonight, guys, Thomas Aarons with Fishing the DMV, and our boy Mr. Trevor Wagner is back with us on the podcast tonight. But guys, what a week it's been here. We made it through the snow. Luckily, we all kind of got ready for the snow apocalypse, is what they called it here in Central Virginia. And I don't know, here lately, when they keep calling for more and more snow, we get less and less. I kind of like that, to be honest. We did get about a couple hours of freezing rain, so that wasn't too freaking cool. But they came, when was this? This was Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And today is Wednesday, and they finally plowed my road today. So I haven't been buried. Luckily, the beautiful four-wheel drive got me out of the hole, so we're blessed with that. And I was able to go to work through the last couple of days. But yes, we have been kind of snowed under right here in Central Virginia for the last couple of days. And for you guys, this uploads on Monday. More snow is called and on its way, and hopefully we get what we're hoping is about a couple inches. So, but we're hearing a couple inches to about 11 inches. Nobody knows. I know Trevor me and Trevor was talking this past week, and he had very unusual cold weather in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dallas is still, their schools were still out. So they've been out for 3 days.
Wow.
Their highways, they're not built to get the ice off as fast as much as came down. And where I was, there's areas around me that got 10 to 12 inches of snow, which we're not used to that. But what we really weren't used to was the fact that we were sitting in single digits for 2 straight days with negative wind chill factors.
Wow.
We had water mains busting all over the town.
Wow.
I lost water for a half a day. I know some people that lost water for almost full 24 hours. So yeah, we're not built for that.
Thomas,
we had to send that Alaska weather back to Alaska.
Maryland somehow did not lose power. The whole state of Maryland did not lose power. Virginia, I know, did. A couple other places. Now, we do have another issue that the power consumption is so bad, plus the data centers, it looks like there will be blackouts around Baltimore and Washington County, I think. Baltimore County. Wow. So luckily, we're kind of in the western ass end of Maryland, so we're not a part of that. But yeah, so God bless all the data centers coming into Maryland and Virginia.
So. Yeah, there's 2 coming within 1 mile of my house. It's not really 1 mile, but it's not much further than that. It's actually one. It's going to be put in my backyard in my buddy's house, and then one right down the street from where I currently work, and then they're trying to get one in Appomattox. So it's 3 within a 20-minute drive of this house.
I can't hate on data centers since right now it is my career.
Yes, we can't knock it.
Don't hate on them.
That's what Geek does for a living. But
But
Well, and I'm training the new ones for the data center, so
there
I
you go.
gotta
So,
I gotta keep the pipeline going.
boom.
but as far as me, we didn't. Man, we got nothing. We got maybe
Wow.
2-3 inches, and then it pretty much melted off the next day, and it's just all rain. We're just in this. I'm telling you, we're in this little section of the heart of the Appalachians where the high mountain ranges,
Mhm.
between Kentucky and West Virginia kind of shield us from anything coming down north. And then the mountains between Tennessee and North Carolina shield anything from coming up from the south. And generally, what you'll see for us is if you'll really watch that section, and what happened to us is you get this spike of warm air that'll just come up from Atlanta, and it'll be, god awful on both sides, and we'll be sitting here. It's the same sort of thing that happened with Helene. When it kind of went all the way around us, and there was devastation everywhere. And we had a
Wow.
little storm and lost power for 2 or 3 days, and that was really about the worst that happened to us. Just like right where
Wow.
I'm at.
So yeah, for us, the mountains do help us a lot. When they kept saying that storm was moving further north, I told Daniela, so we're not going to get much at all. And like I said, it wasn't much to it. Maybe about 4 inches of snow. And then by the time the rain started and the freezing rain started, you know, I think we got 4 inches and then like an inch or so of freezing rain on top of that. But luckily, it didn't hang to the trees. We didn't lose power. None of my coworkers lost power, or any of my friends lost power. And the boys here on Basscast Radio, because I checked on everybody, made sure everybody was good. But yeah, so hopefully we can make it through another little storm. And I think our prediction here was about a foot, maybe a foot and a little more for the whole winter. And we're almost there. We're actually maybe about an inch or two away from having what they told us we'd have. So I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm ready for spring and ready to get back out to more fishing expos in 2026. But before we dive into that part, we're going to talk about expos because there's more expos to go to. We're going to take a recap on some expos. But guys, I got a message the other day, and I don't like to rant too much, but I got a message about the pop-ups on the website. And you guys know I have 3 whole sponsors if you go to the website. And it don't pay all the bills. We have a Patreon on here. It's $5.95 a month. If you'd like to become a Patreon member, and a lot of you guys don't. So it is what it is. And I appreciate the ones who are a Patreon member. But we have to pay the bills. I don't even write myself a check. I talked about this last week. I pay for gas. Me and Danielle might get a meal. We're gonna pay for the classic room. It pays the room for the classic. I can tell you, it's $800. Okay. We're gonna leave Wednesday and we're coming back on Monday. It's $800. The rest of the food and whatever else we buy comes out of my pocket. So because the rest of the money's got to last till the next check comes in. So that's how important the Patreon really is, because every month we know we got a little bit of money coming in. We got the money coming in from the ads from the website. It's a check every month. And through Facebook, when you guys like the reels, make comments. And the comment that Thomas made and about the boats being so expensive last week, on our show with Steve, it helps. Every time I post a reel and you guys blow it up, it helps. So I'm sorry for the ads, but you say you love the website. Like Dad, you say, put your money where your mouth is, I guess. Or you just gonna suck it up. Because they really do help pay the bills. Because after I pay for hosting fees, podcast fees, travel fees, Bruce's fees, and our what is it, Alicia, to go cover the cat tournament so I can go cover other tournament fees, we might have a couple $100 left over at the end of the year. Maybe. So ain't nobody getting rich here. I'll tell you that 110%. But we love doing it. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep on rolling. And like I said, all you guys out there, $5.95. Your smokes cost $5.95 now. You'll buy them all day long. Them little what's them things called everybody's using now? Them little packets that comes in a little cup and chews on and everything. What's that dip now that everybody's using?
Zens.
Zen, yeah.
Zen.
Yeah.
You got Zen, you got Cinco's. You know, you guys got that addiction. If you love us, we love to be your next addiction. There you go. So I had an analogy I wanted to use. It's kind of like everybody, it was a really not a great analogy. It's kind of bad to be honest, but it was, you know, I take you out on a date, but I'm not willing to have sex with you. So there it is. I want to go out with you, but I don't want to commit, and that's where we are. You know what I'm saying? You're all right to hang out with, but I don't want to commit.
So please break Brian's cherry tonight and donate.
Hey, I don't know why it came to my brain. It's stupid. I can't help it. It's like this thing just came to my brain. It's like, yeah, this is how I kind of feel. And, you know, it is what it is. And, I've heard many years about the ads, but just click off the ads. All you got to do. If you see something you like, click on the ad and go buy it and make a little bit more money if you go buy it. You guys see me throw up the discount tackle and Bass Geek, by the way. Bass Geek, by the way. Tackle Warehouse. If you're on Geek's site, Tackle Warehouse, click the link, smash it, head on over and buy what you're gonna buy. If you're on ours, Discount Tackle. If you see stuff on there, it's a great price. Go buy it. Pennies add up to make dollars. What the old man used to say. We need a lot of pennies. So we appreciate you guys being a part of Basscast Radio. Appreciate you guys listening, and appreciate you hitting the subscribe and follow button. That's free. It costs you nothing whatsoever. All right, we're going to jump off that high horse and we're going to talk about expos, guys. Last week, the weather held off till I think we didn't get the weather till about 7 to 8 o'clock here in Central Virginia. I headed on down to our sponsors, Angler's Choice Marine in Martinsville, Virginia. I brought up on the show last week. If you are anywhere in that area and you love fishing, river fishing, I don't care what type of fishing you like. They got everything that you need, and they got boats galore. I mean, good gosh, they had two whole sides that were like a football field long full of boats. And that was just on one side. The other boats was like they had I don't know what that thing was. It was a nice boat though. It was not a bass boat, by the way, but it was another boat. So I mean, if you're looking for a John boat, aluminum boat, fishing, Ranger, I think it's Triton, Skeeter. I don't know. They've got 3 dealerships. And this is their last expo. Their last expo will have ended by the time we upload this. But great time, great talk. I know the attendance was down. A lot of people kind of scared because of the weather moving in, and I kind of understand that because you are kind of going down towards North Carolina, and they were supposed to have gotten a lot more ice in Carolina than what we got in Central Virginia. So, but it was great to see everybody. Only one I was really sad, 9/11 Custom Lure is supposed to be there, Geek. I really do like them. I like the whole organization, 9/11.
Yep.
We got to see them in Richmond, so that was good. A lot of pegs were sold out in Richmond, so I was hoping to see them again in Martinsville, but they kind of backed out, which I understand because of the weather. But it was a great time. Please support them. Check it out. They actually have an online site if you want to purchase online as well. So all that is on thebasscast.com. Click and head on over now and check out their used boats, new boats. They got you covered. While we're talking about that, don't forget Missile Baits. Just Rig It was down there as well. So thank them for sponsoring thebasscast.com because they're in Martinsville as well. And I've got a new banner going up on the basscast.com here pretty daggone soon. It should be up, yeah, really soon. Let me get this link right here. They got a new product called Bass Bright, and I've been told it's to keep your boat clean, the shine, and all that great stuff. But I've been told they got something that you can put in your live well is better than what does everybody used to use? Vinegar. And it cleans your live well real well. I mean, it gets rid of all the slime and the gunk that's in your live well, and I heard it's awesome. So that link will be up on thebasscast.com really soon. We're waiting on that as well. But yeah, so fishing expos are going on. I want to throw us over to Thomas real quick. Me and him will be in Fishersville coming up at the Augusta County Expo, and we're excited about that. Go ahead, Thomas.
February 7th through the 8th, we're going to be at the Augusta County Expo and Center. Come on out, guys. It's a really big time up and coming show. We have this guy called Martin Villa, Captain Chris Johnson, Rick Williams. We got Brian Rowe, Ricky Falk, and Jeff. Oh, God. Shank? We're going to call him Jeff. Jeff is there. Jeff will be there. He's a legendary guy. Come out and figure out what his last name is. I'll be there, and so will Brian as well, and a couple of other people. So it's a really good show, good part of the country. We'll see you there.
Yeah, the Augusta show, I mean, it kind of did a loop back, but the last couple of years, it has been on the rise. That's where I fell in love with Geek, by the way. I mean, I met Geek, by the way. So I tell you guys this, I really, really do preach the show thing. If you really, really want to do this, you need to commit, and you need to be at shows. You need to walk around, get your name out there, buy the lures, try out the lures, shoot a video for the lures, shoot 4 or 5 videos for the lures, and then ask for some money maybe if the lure videos do really, really well, and you start building up your channel. It's just a tip, by the way, guys. But don't ask for a handout first. We got to show some, we need to show some dedication. But it's a great way to get started. You guys know March, first weekend in March, the Bassmaster Classic. I ain't gonna lie, things changed for me when I went to the Classic. When you made that, and that was my commitment, really, was when I went to Alabama and drove a crap load of miles to show up. I called Geek. I think I registered for the credentials a week before the event.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped in a car, and we drove all the way to Alabama. And we were there for, I don't think we stayed the last day. We might have stayed half the last day and drove home because I had to be back to work on a Monday because I didn't know what this, I mean, I'd watched it, been a part of it. I didn't know it really lasted as long as it did. But there you guys go. It's in Knox Vegas, Tennessee, right in the backyard of Geek. And I hope you guys are all able to join us and come on down. I told a coworker today, if you see that gold dome, you found the right spot. That little Saphir thing or whatever the heck it is in Knox Vegas. If you found that, you found out where me and Geek will be for 5 days. That's where I'm going to be. But Geek made it down to
not 5 days, though. I ain't going down for 5 days.
We're going to ride down on Wednesday, by the way, and kind of chill and just enjoy the time going down. And then we're going to be there Thursday for the media day. And then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we'll go come on back Monday morning. So that's going to be our plan. But Geek made it to the Tennessee Fishing Expo. I did hear it got cut short, a little late opening because of the weather, but go for it, Geek. Tell us a little bit about what you saw and heard down there.
Well, there was a few people didn't show up because, they were given, and Knoxville got hit with ice pretty hard. So I reckon Saturday. So there was a few people didn't show up, but pretty much everybody did, We went down, we adjusted. We were going to go down Friday and Saturday. Things were supposed to happen, early Friday morning, which they kind of adjusted. So we went ahead and just sort of changed things out and went down Thursday, Friday. So it's traditionally a 4-day show, Thursday through Sunday, which I kind of like being down there on Thursday because they ain't sold out everything. So you can make sure you get the colors and sizes that you want. But you could tell now Thursday is normally busy. This show is normally busy. But and I've been to pretty much every show except like the Pennsylvania, like 10-day, outdoor fest, whatever that one is. And this is, other than the Classic, like this expo is far bigger than the Red Crest. I mean, it's pretty packed, and we were surprised that it was a little bit down. And I'm sure a lot of that was because of the weather. But no, I found some really cool stuff there. Some stuff that, we're going to do a little unboxing over. Some of the stuff you've seen in the videos, which should be dropping sometime this week or so, next week, something like that. But met a lot of cool people. That's one of the reasons why I like to go, is because, Knox Vegas is definitely where a lot of geeks are from. So, being only a couple hours down the road, and being really mecca to bass fishing. I mean, there's so many good lakes. You go east of Knoxville, you've got the Highlands reservoirs that I fish all the time. You go west and south of Knoxville, you've got all the Tennessee River lakes, Watts Bar, Chick, all those types of lakes where you've got, like I said. So there's some other little lakes around there, that's got grass in them, and it's just a lot of really good anglers, guys like Ott Defoe, Wesley Strider, a lot of really good anglers come from that area because it's such a diverse fishery. Even um, well, I've totally lost track of thought there, but
Oh, you're
a lot
good.
of good stuff, and the show was good. You could tell everybody knew the weather was coming because that Thursday and that Friday was probably the busiest Thursday and Friday that I've seen going down there. So parking was hard to find. Buy your tickets online if you go, people. They stopped selling them like a week or two before, so it's always good to get those tickets because the line will wrap around the building and 2 blocks down. You've seen it, ain't you, Carter? It's shoot,
Yeah.
man, you don't want to be standing in that when
No.
it's 17 degrees outside with
Yeah.
the wind.
Guys, I didn't go this year. I usually don't go when the classics in Tennessee, but I have seen the line myself with my own eyes because luckily I get media and walk on in. Thank you, and I'm
Yeah.
blessed. But that building's a long building, and it's a
Yeah.
whole lot of people standing outside in the cold weather waiting to
And,
get
I, and
inside
I'll
that
be the
door.
first to tell you, I wear shorts every year that I go because it heats up so quick in there. I mean, it
So
don't
many
matter
people.
how cold it is. I wear a hoodie and shorts.
So, guys, like I said, expos are still left. There's that one. There's the one coming up for me and Thomas, and the Augusta County Expo. I think you can go to Augusta County Expo on Facebook and follow them there. But it's coming up next weekend, which will be this coming weekend for this because this airs Monday and this show is Friday and Saturday. Lord willing, no weather. So I'm planning on heading up to that, and then in March, like I said, the first weekend. I think it's the 11th, maybe second weekend of March is when the classic is. Second weekend, I think. So we'll be at the
Second.
classic, and it's second. And then after that, we come back and the season begins, boys and girls. Tournaments kick off, and we're gonna be chasing bass. But guys, Trevor is on with us with before the first cast. I want to thank Trevor for coming on with us. By now, your feet are wet, buddy. You got a bunch of episodes out there. The
Yeah.
show is doing great. People are loving the content. Guys, he puts a lot of research in his probably more than we do. We just fly off the hip. He does all the research. But
I try.
he did a little bit before the first Major League Fishing Bass Pro Team Bass Pro Series event, and then he did a recap of that and talking a little bit about winter fishing. But tonight, Trevor is going to talk with us about fantasy fishing, and you guys know that the basscast.com, and I'll put that link in the comment section below. I've been sharing it on social media, and I'll share it again. We'll get to about 5 days. Yes, it's 6 days to the first Bassmaster Elite event, I think, right now on a Wednesday. So by the time this airs, it would start that Thursday. Yeah, start the
Correct.
Thursday. So Bassmaster Elite event. And I think we have about 34 people playing, I want to say. I checked it earlier. I can't really remember, but we got another great turnout. So love to have you playing. It's fun. We don't, just camaraderie amongst each other, and it's a great time. But Trevor's going to talk real quick about fantasy fishing.
All right. So the first stop for fantasy fishing for the Bassmaster Elite Series is Lake Guntersville. And we know that bass this year, they did the whole coin flip of which one gets forward-facing sonar, which ones don't. And Guntersville landed with no FFS. So this event's going to be interesting, mainly because they have another cold front. That one that's coming through is going to hit them again this week, like this past weekend when this drops. So drop that water temperature down. I think Saturday the high is like maybe 30 degrees going in to the tournament that week. So you're in those post-frontal conditions. So fishing is going to be a little bit tough without those boys using, the scope to go out there and try to find them. So with fantasy fishing, if you've never done it before, like we said, we got about about 34, 35 people signed up, to compete. If you've never done the fantasy fishing side on Bassmaster, just know that you have different buckets. You have different ones that you can pick from. You got your A to E. E's kind of being those anglers that they're not really expecting to. Bass doesn't think they're going to do great. That's kind of where they do it. They kind of base off of like AOI standings last year, new guys coming in, where they should land. But if you go, I always start at bucket E when I'm going to pick my picks. And bucket E right now, you can kind of expect a lot of them are picking a lot of the old school anglers. Right now, Hank Cherry's getting all the love in bucket E. Followed closely behind him is Matt Robertson in Kentucky. So when I look at it, I'm looking at who has most history on Guntersville fishing. Because if you have that scope turned off, you're going to need to know all those ins and outs of that lake, where they go during those, post frontal conditions. So you really got to pick your anglers smartly. You could also look at past history of when they've been there before. But if you're looking at Buckety, if you're going with everybody, Hank Cherry, and then again Matt Robertson, and then Stephen Kennedy. Gotta like it. Big old glide baits with Stephen Kennedy. Big glide baits do catch some bass on Guntersville, so
And I'll tell you, man,
gotta love that.
Robertson's a Tennessee River guy. You better not discount him. Hank Cherry's never really done that well on the Tennessee River. So
no, that's why I don't understand where all the love. I mean, I guess they're looking at old school fishermen and Hank Cherry, but like you said,
he
don't
likes
count
the
those
jerk
Tennessee
bait.
boys.
It seems like that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think that'll play less than people think.
Yeah. Now in the BPT that just took place, jerkbait was a player. So, all right, in bucket D, if you're looking down through bucket D, this is kind of almost a runaway horse at 35% of all the boats. Wouldn't you figure? Go to old school Randy Howell, who lives on Guntersville, fished there a lot. So, they're looking at the hometown boy there as far as if you want somebody that knows that lake, knows it well, go in there. But in the same bucket, they threw my man G-Man. Gerald Swindle is also in bucket D. So, and he's coming off of double knee surgery, so he's got some new knees. So he's getting his health back up. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Gerald Swindle fan. I just love when he's on the stage talking. He's just, I don't know, he's just awesome to listen to. Awesome to talk to. So those are the two that I would really be keeping my eye on for those in that bucket. Really, if you're looking, they have some others in there, but those are the two main ones. Bucket C, when you're looking in here, a little bit more spread out. A lot of the love this time is going to Justin Hamner. He's an Alabama guy, but he's not a Northern Alabama guy, but he is a jerkbait fisherman. I can tell you that. He loves throwing that jerkbait, and he's darn good with it. But he's getting a lot of the love. And then someone that's not getting as much love is Andrew Loberg, who also has moved to Guntersville, Alabama. He's only sitting about 14% of the people. And then, of course, the next one, can't go wrong with Brandon Polinick. He fishes all styles. I don't think he can ever go wrong with him as a pick. And again, he can fish new school, old school, doesn't matter. He knows the lake. He's been around long enough now that he'd be a good solid pick as well in the bucket C. Then you jump over to bucket B, and then we start tightening things up a little bit. Things get you get a little bit more anglers, but all the love, is going to Kyle Welcher. Again, he's an Alabama boy. He knows the fishery. He fishes Tennessee River systems really, really well. So he's got like 33% of the votes. And then also, you can't discount Wes Logan either, because Wes Logan's another good angler on that Tennessee River stuff. So don't count him out. So he's another one getting a lot of love. And then the former Bassmaster Classic champion is in this bucket as well. Easton Fothergill is sitting in here as well, and he's getting some love as well. So again, those newer anglers like Easton and them, they can fish without that sonar on. So a lot of people kind of say, "Oh, these new anglers, that's all they know." I could tell you from watching Easton and going up, that kid can fish. Doesn't matter. So And then the last bucket, this is where they think the A group's coming in. This is where they think, this is where the winner's going to come out of. So on this one, obviously, he just returned to the Bass Elite Series not too long ago. All the love for this one is going to Jordan Lee. Again, he one of those that he knows this system. He knows it well. And then right behind him is, again, another young angler. You got Trey McKinney. But really, the one that's really sitting there really high up is Tucker Smith. So, again, he did really well last year.
Angler of the year.
From this area. Yep, and he is from this area. So, this is a tough bucket to choose from because, rookie of the year.
Yeah,
then they also put another one they put in here who's not getting a lot of love, but is Russ Lane. Okay, Russ Lane is also from here, and he's hungry. He qualified last year through the Opens. It's kind of a home lake for him, so it's a tough bucket to choose from. And then, of course, once you choose, then you have to choose your weights. And this is one where if it was scoping time, maybe the weather was a little better, I would definitely be pushing to 100 pounds for that tiebreaker weight. But I think with the post-frontal conditions, I think the weights are going to be a little bit lower than what they typically would be. So probably could still say, I think you could safely say it's still going to be 80 to 90 pounds. Pretty safe bet somewhere in there. So, but that's the next one we have coming up, guys. And just so you know, I did not do too bad on the BPT one. So,
all right, Trevor, appreciate that.
86 pounds. That's what I'm calling.
86. Is that what you're going with, Geek?
Right now, 86 pounds. So it'll take the.
All right,
I think that's a good safe bet.
Yeah. I'm gonna go about 88. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I think definitely they can catch him. Like you said, I don't think you see a 100-pound bag, but I think they can still catch him pretty daggone good.
Yeah, that lake just produces. I don't know. Gunnerville's just a magical place right now. It's
on an
upswing. They're not going to catch them, and then they catch them. So.
All right, Trevor, appreciate that. Appreciate you getting us in the loop with the Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing. And guys, don't forget, sign up now. This goes up Monday. You got to make your picks by Wednesday because this starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So get in, get signed up. It's free. It's fun. And it's got a little chat board on the right-hand side. You guys can act a fool. Don't say nothing bad or inappropriate, by the way. But you can, have a little camaraderie and have fun with it because that's what it's really all about. So thank you guys who are signed up. And it is 35 participants right now at this moment, Wednesday night, by the way. All right, guys. We're going to move on over to something that's pretty daggone disgusting, to be honest. And we're going to be, it's my friend Thomas. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Potomac River. If you guys haven't seen what's been going on the Potomac River, they had a sewage disaster. And we're going to turn this over to Thomas and let him explain what the heck is going on, because we love the Potomac, we love the James, we love our river systems, and having something like this happen is not good. It sucks.
So on Monday, January 19th, there was an issue that ended up occurring. Apparently there was a sewage leak, and that was brought to my attention on Tuesday, the following day, the 20th. I had a couple of text messages about it, but hey, there's this weird sewage leak into the river. By the 22nd in the morning, I had 10 messages and emails to be like, no, this is a legit leak. And when that happened, I called up the River Keepers. If you guys don't know, River Keepers Association, they are one of the few organizations for fishermen that will actively sue on behalf. So basically think NRA for fishermen, but it's only for specific river systems, Shenandoah River, Potomac River, etc. So I called up the River Keeper to see what the problem is, and he was swamped. First time I called him, no answer. And then I think the second or third time I called him, I got him up. We talked a little bit on the phone. I got him on the show. Basically, the main pipe for all of the raw sewage in Maryland flows through Washington County down to DC, where it's disposed of and filtered. That exploded. And when it exploded, the people that run the sewer system for DC just said it was contained in the C&O Canal. That is not true. It was so bad because it's the main pipe for the whole state. It overflowed the canal and was dumping in at, let's see, 60 million gallons per day. And that started flowing on Monday the 19th. And it took them until Friday the 23rd to get there. And then it took them during the blizzard until that Saturday to reduce the flow by half. As of this moment, on the 28th, it is still flowing at half force, and they're estimating over 300 million gallons of raw sewage at Lock 10 above DC has been dumped into the river and is still being dumped, and the spill can be seen all the way to the Kennedy Center. Now, this is raw. So that means if you drop pills, like whatever you would flush down the toilet, that is being dumped into the river right now.
Wow.
When I talked to the river keepers, they said this would be considered probably the worst sewage disaster in the United States history if it wasn't because of the snowstorm. To give you an idea, I was the second media source anywhere to cover the story. It was a little podunk paper and me were the first two to get on this. And now it's just starting to get media attention as of now. So lawsuits are going to be filed. They are going to be happening. And they don't know the ramifications when it comes to the river right now. Allegedly, there's been some sites of a fish kill, but like for oysters and things down into the bay, they're already thinking about basically saying we're not going to be able to harvest crab, oyster, or anything at that part of the Chesapeake. So,
wow.
Who knows like how bad this is going to be. I reached out to Jay Kumar, a bass blaster. I think he put a little excerpt in there and just told him to kind of like hang tight with this because this has never happened before. So we don't know, can fish literally swim in shit? And we're going to find out here. Because, if you guys go to my feed, you can see it just literally just pumping as hard as humanly possible. And it was at full bore for 7 days, damn near. Just pumping into the river. Wow. So it's crazy. And again, the thing that was crazy was when it initially happened, the organization said it was contained in the C&O Canal. And then you could look at videos and stuff and just see what used to be a dry creek bed just pumping raw sewage straight into the river. So it was completely either a misstep by government or they were lying. So who knows? Fun stuff up where I'm at.
The government doesn't lie.
Never. And then let me see. I had some kind of, let's see. So, the E. coli level that was measured on Monday was 12,000 times above the considered safe drinking level. 12,000 times per particle of what is safe. And that was Monday, and it's still flowing, baby. So,
yeah, I saw that. I saw that in your banner you made for the show. And I was like, holy cow.
And if people don't know, this kind of hits really close to me and a lot of people up where I'm at because of Shenandoah River. If you guys don't know, there was the DuPont scandal back in the early 2000s where they were just dumping raw mercury into the river. And it got media attention in New York. I think it was like the US Today because the whole river died. Like literally damn near all the adult fish died in the river. And once they all died and it got the front of a newspaper, the governor at the time finally called up and was like, hey, this is a problem. But it took until now for the river to recover, and we still deal with lesions. And so that's probably why I got so many emails is like, is this the Shenandoah River 2.0? Time will tell. It's not mercury, but it's a ton of raw sewage dumping into the tidal basin. So we'll see.
All right, guys. So make sure you pay attention. Head on over to Fishing the DMV right now. Listen to the latest episode. Well, the episode for that, because I think the latest episode was you were talking about Smith Mountain Lake.
Yeah, and I'll do one better. Just go to riverkeepers.com. Like, this is bigger than me. Like, go check out, just type in River Keepers. It's there. That's what they do. And try to support them because we literally need more organizations like this for our lakes that will come to bat for anglers. And it is literally the only governing body in fishing that will go sue if something like this happens, which is what hunters and gun activists have in the NRA. And if it happens on a river, we have somebody. If it happens on Kentucky Lake or whatever, no one cares. So please go show them support because we need more organizations like this.
And guys, we have spoke about that so many times, guys. I know you love fishing. I know you love tournament fishing and you love getting out there. But if you don't pay attention to what's going on in the surroundings and with your body of water, before you know it, you don't have any ramps, so you can't go fishing no more, or you can't host a tournament, or something crazy is going to happen. So please pay attention to what's happening around you, wherever you are, whatever body of water you're on, river, lake, it does not matter. Try to take care of our resources. Don't litter. Collect your line. I mean, I know one time there was a company making these boxes or bags or something. If you had a bunch of line, you just stuffed it down in there, threw it away at the end of the day. Is trying to keep line out of our lakes. So I mean, there's many, plastics. I know one company back in the day had boxes they would send you, and you could throw all your old plastics in it and mail it to them, and they pay for the mailing, and they melted it all down and made new lures. But it's just a way to keep recycle, and I recycle here. They probably hate that I recycle here, but I recycle here. That's just me. I feel that's my giving back to the hippies would say Mother Earth. But I recycle cans and plastic and paper. I mean, I hope it gets recycled. I hope they use it for good, and that's just my little thing that I do. But oh, is this you, Thomas?
Yeah, if you guys want to, we'll help Brian's video go viral here.
We're going to admit that. Okay. There we go. And if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so if you guys can see it okay, hopefully you can. Oh, no. What happened?
I think when we kick back on, it disappears for some reason, but it did pop up.
All right, so let's try this again. One more time. So just to kind of give you guys a visual here, this is the head of the Potomac River Keepers Association. If you see in the backdrop there, that was a dry riverbed. That's raw sewage.
Oh, wow.
That is 100% raw sewage that was flowing straight into the river since Monday of last week. That is not a riverbed. That is not water. That is 100% just raw sewage that was formed in a dry old creek bed pumping into the river. It's insane. And then they had an issue later on where it was exploding through the ground.
Good God.
This is a legit problem. And so as of Friday, Saturday night, this is Guys Riverkeepers Facebook page. Let me see if I can find the last one, which is kind of nerve wracking. Right here, they finally cut the pipe off. This was as of yesterday, and they're starting to work on trying to plug it, but it's still seeping through into the river still as they're going through it right now. And they're trying to do this through wintertime conditions. So, wow. It's not just a little leak. It's legitimately all of the fecal matter in Maryland going right into the river. So don't eat any fish coming in the spring.
We don't eat the fish out of the James River anyway here. So, I mean, I'd recommend you eating them out of the river up there as well. So that's just me. But yeah, that's like awful. We had it happen here. I think it was what was that thing? Griffin pipe. They make big pipes for like I don't know I really don't know exactly. I know back in the day, a lot of people that I knew, friends with, family, worked at Griffin Pipe, and they had a major dump down there. And it was not good. And it is a section of the river that I fish when I go to the river here, and we fished all the time, and we paddle right past Griffin Pipe all the way up to the dam and fish the dam and come back. But yeah, they had a really bad major. This is probably like back in the 80s and 90s, but it's really, really bad here as well. So,
and I don't want to bore you because this is the boring stuff that we talk about on my channel. But the way corporate works for this is they can still pass their health rating because they can actually buy credits on a marketplace. To where, if you think of it like your marriage, you could be like, well, I'm only at 2 stars, but Brian could buy 4 stars for me and he passes inspection. Companies do that. So technically they were up to code, but it was probably because they paid money to actually get the rating. So wow. It's just, and this happens not just in Maryland, this happens everywhere. Arkansas, Ohio River's famous for this stuff. But anyway, so yay.
All right. So like we said, head on over to Fishing the DMV. Make sure you're following and make sure you help keep up with the latest of what's going on. Thomas will do a great job with that as he always does. And like I said, that's one of the many things that we love about Thomas is Thomas keeps up with what's happening in our ecosystem around us, and even all the way down here. And
The boring stuff.
no, it's not boring because you really, honestly,
No,
guys, you really, really need to keep
No.
up with it. It's not boring at all. I mean, you know, I know some of you guys have an attention span like mine. You need the 10-minute version, and some people like the 1.5 hour or 3 hour version, like Thomas likes. So either way, you need to keep up with what is going on with your body of water. All right, guys, we know it's been really, really cold around here. The water temperature is really cold. By the way, if you don't have a life jacket on this time of the year and you're going fishing, I cannot help you because it's extremely cold. And we thought we'd turn it over to Geek before we wrapped it up tonight, and let Geek talk about what's it like. What do the fish do when the water gets this daggone cold? But we're seeing the bags. We saw 20, almost 26 pounds 2 weeks ago on Smith Mountain Lake. So the giant bass are showing up. The 7 pound kicker. I mean, heck of a tournament. We're getting into that time of the year.
and this time of year, I mean, depending on the lake you're on, and Smith Mountain's a lake a whole lot like the lakes I fish. Now they don't drop it as much as the lakes down here in Northeast Tennessee and you know very southwestern Virginia. But there's several things that's going to happen right now. In January, your shad have really moved out, and they're in these big balls. They're in the first thirds to the mouths of the creek, some out on the main lake areas. And if you've got a scope, use it right now. It's definitely gonna land you the big fish. They're out there, they're feeding. Even during the coldest of days when the water temps drop into the low 40s and upper 30s, a lot of times you can find those bass if you're scoping near steep drop offs, near the steep side of points, near the steeper side of banks, especially when the wind's not really bad. And they'll be out there, even on the cloudiest of days, soaking in that UV sunlight, incubating
Mhm.
those eggs if they're not super active. And they'll be the right around the you know water clarity area, give or take about 5 or 10 feet down below that. Now, they're going to be out there by themselves. They're bigger female bass. They like to be alone most of the time, and that's where you're going to find them. Other ways, of course, that you're going to catch them is those that are feeding. Smallmouth are notorious this time of year to be really in those balls of shad. And shad matters. The type of forage that you have on your lake sets the tone for depth a lot of times. Um, the lake, one of my favorite lakes to fish, South Holston, is a lake where we've got gizzard, threadfin, and alewife. The alewife will go as deep as 80 to 100 feet right now or more. They will go to the bottom unconditional of the water depth. And the smallmouth will go with them. Now, that's a tough catch, right? You got to really be dedicated to get down there. But what you really want to do, and what's probably going to be a little easier for you, is to get out there and find those fish that's maybe more in that 50 to 60, 40 to 60 range. And yes, sir, Mr. DMV.
Basky, what would you say the most comfortable depth, like the deepest depth that most people should target them?
Especially in the Highlands Reservoir right now, when it gets colder, that depth's going to change a lot. And it's going to be a combination of two things. It's going to be water clarity and it's going to be water temperature. For example, this is a great time if you don't have forward facing sonar. There's a couple of different tactics. We just did a video, and if you're using forward facing sonar, we did a video on a little hair jig. Now we've been using a hair jig around here for floating flies, and what's easier is tight lining for years and years and years, and it's an incredible way to get out there and catch them. But you've got to stay pretty far off the bank, really work that down. So we were out when it was warm, nice little warm front, even had on shorts, end of December there. And, they were 30, 35 feet. Well, fast forward 2-3 weeks after that, they're 40, 45 feet. And with this cold front moving through now, even on the banks, I mean, they could be down deeper, in 50, 55 feet right now. And you're talking about water clarity that's generally going to span that 12 to 15 foot of visibility. So you can cut about 10 foot off for every few feet of of visibility lost. And generally, we've been spending a lot of time up the river. Those bass, and not really up the river, but on the upper end of the lake where visibility is a little less, 8 to 12 feet. And what's going to happen there is your bass are going to stay a little shallower, and they're going to be a little easier to catch because they can't see as well. Because the water is a little dingier there than it is in the 20, 25 foot visibility down the lake. But, there's a lot of different ways to catch them right now. My favorites, it's either going to be tight lining on the bank. You're going to go find those points, those transitions out of those main creeks that are a little steeper, those bluff walls. I'm going to go throw a hair jig on those. Or, believe it or not, a ball head minnow, but it's going to be a very specific minnow this time of year. It's going to be a gulp minnow. Because believe it or not, that stinky, crappy smelling of that, I don't know what it is, but it gets bit when you're doing the whole tight lining thing. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go find some rocky areas. And when I say rocks, like I'm talking about rock that's got some sort of extra cover on it, whether it be trees or laydowns. I want something that the bass can get into and hide. So if it has to be bigger than riprap is what I'm talking about. And if it's riprap, like it needs to be, like there needs to be some places where you can stick a bass, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to have to get sun all day long. Those banks where the sun is at, especially later in the day, that 2:30 to, right when the sun goes down, it's going to populate. I like to throw big, soft plastic swim baits right now. So anything from the Huddlestons, but if you don't want to pay the money for the Huddlestons, let me give you two good alternatives. And that is the Swing Impact Fats that go all the way up to 7 and 8 inches. And even better than those are the 6 and 7. And I believe they come in 8 inches. That's what I was actually looking for just a minute, because I put a pack of those up and I don't remember where they are in this mess. But those big, easy minnows from Kitech, too very big. You're going to throw to the bottom, and you're just going to slow roll on the bottom. Heavy heads. Now, if you're in smaller, we were talking about Gunnersville. So one of the things that really excites me about this lake is I've not ever fished Gunnersville, and there's a little more grass in it than there is Chickamauga. But what those bass do in those situations, those big female bass, they love to get in the ditches down there. And so what you'll have is the main, creek channel. And we know now that no matter how much current is flowing and no matter how cold it is, those big bass are going to be out there in the main creek channel. But that's going to be very hard to target those fish without forward-facing sonar. So you're going back to traditional styles. And if you're down on the Tennessee River right now, you're going to be looking for those areas, depending on how much current is flowing or not, where they can sit down behind something, where they can get in those creek channel ditches out on the main lake. So those old creek channel ditches are what you're going to find, because they like to get down in there, because it is a river system. There's constant flow of current. Mm-hmm. So these big largemouth like to get out of that current and sit behind things where they can move up to feed when they're feeling ready to. And that's going to be the same pretty much in any lake. Depth is relative, where I can go catch them 80, 60 to 80. You can go catch them 15 to 8. So
Gerald Swindle told everybody over the weekend at the Richmond Fishing Expos 2 things that you need to know before you go to any body of water: what color the water is, or what the water temperature is. And if you can pretty much break all that down, you can pretty much catch fish just about anywhere. And like Geek was saying, there's more great tips, tricks over.
one last thing to tell you though. Water temps, warm ups or colds. My rule is 3. The water temps do not really change deeper. Okay, let's say below 5 feet in most places, unless there's a lot of wind. It's not really going to affect those fish that are deeper than 5 to 10 feet until you've got a consistent pattern of 3 days, whether it's warm or whether it's cold.
All right, there you guys go. So head on over right now, hit to Bass Geek's YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button so you get more great videos and tips just like this right here. I know he's uploading at least 2 a week. Are you still doing 3 a week?
3 a week, 3 long
3 a
plays,
week.
3 shorts.
Nice.
3 videos, 2 shorts. So
3.
make sure 3 shorts. Oh shoot! Make sure you're following today so you don't miss anything. I try to get it all reshared on the basscast.com so you guys don't miss a video. But the easiest way you don't miss a video is head on over and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video at all. That's it for tonight, guys. The Bassmaster Elites kicks off. We're excited about that. For you guys playing fantasy fishing, please make, we're all good about it for the first 4 events, then we'll miss 1 or 2 and then we'll think about it at the end. But get signed up for Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing. Let's see if we can beat Trevor this year. You guys heard his picks and his thoughts, and let's see if we can beat Trevor. And we appreciate him bringing that little segment to us and talking about all the great anglers that will be competing in this event. Before we roll, anybody got any parting words from the
Stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely stay warm. Like I said, I know you guys don't like wearing your life jacket sometimes, but if you're out there this time of the year, please wear it the whole time. I mean, it just takes one wake, one wave, and you guys know on our lake, Smith Mount Lake, if it gets above 40 degrees, they on a stupid sea-doo, and they're like making zooms around your butt, and they don't care, and it only takes one, and you're in the water, and hypothermia can get you. I mean, it's not good, but please, please, please be safe. Wherever you are and wherever you are fishing. I ain't gonna lie. I think, I know it's a great time to catch a giant bass, but I'll tell you this: don't go by yourself. This time of the year, that's a tip. Do not go alone. If take your wife, give her a book or something. You know what I'm saying? Here's the Kindle. Sit on the internet. I don't know. Just don't go alone this time of the year. Summertime, yeah, you
real
might
quick,
fall. You can swim back to the boat, but go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah. I was say, speaking of big bass, because I'm in Texas. So just a few days ago, someone already caught a 14-pounder out of a lake that I'm going to be going fishing, hopefully really soon.
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah, 14-pounder. It's like, wow. Because we have the whole lunker program. We've already had 26, 27 bass over 8 pounds caught in January alone.
Wow.
So it's lunker season.
Good news.
What we call it, lunker season.
Yeah. Good news for everybody. If you're in our area, Brian's area, DMV's area, my area, January's almost over.
Thank God.
The average temperatures begin to rise in February. As a matter of fact, I seen a couple of days they're forecasting the second week of February. It's going to hit the mid 60s.
Oh,
so
wow.
relish, people. She's coming.
Wow.
It's coming.
All right, guys. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you being a part of the Basscast radio family. You guys are awesome. We'll be back next week, and we'll be talking about the beginning of the season and NPFL should be kicking off really soon. I haven't looked at the schedule for that, but it's tournament time and tournament bass fishing, and we're here to keep you in the loop of what's going on. Become a Patreon member today. It's $5.95 a month. I think you sign up for the first month. I know I did it just to see it because I haven't signed up for my own Patreon, but it actually sends you a little gift. They sent me an email for 40% off or 60% off to get signed up for your first month, and then after that it went to $5.95, and I mean, $6 a month. You can pay for the whole year if you want, 60, $70, whatever it is. So, I mean, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for being a part of the family. And we'll see you right back here next week on Basscast Radio.